Hello class, welcome to my kitchen, your new laboratory for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Today we're going to be preparing chicken teriyaki stir fry. We're going to be covering a few very important skills that we're going to use today. We're going to cover proper hand washing, we're going to review some basic measuring skills, and we're also going to use some beginning cooking and kitchen safety skills. So we need to start with a quick introduction of what we'll be using today. Today, we have chicken that I cubed up. There's about 2.5 cups of diced chicken I've had marinating for about 2 hours now in some Lowry's teriyaki chicken marinade. We're also going to use one 12-ounce package of Asian Melody mixed vegetables, extra virgin olive oil. We're going to use just a little bit of soy sauce. My favorite, we're going to use some hot sauce. Today we're going to use Jamaican habanero and salt and pepper to taste. So to get started, the first thing that we have to do is wash our hands. Let's go to the sink. Alright, we are at the sink. Now, the first thing that we need to do is get the water to a comfortable temperature. Now, according to the Center for Disease Control, there are 6 steps to washing your hands. The first, wet your hands with running water. They say that you can use hot or cold water. You apply the soap. You rub hands together to make a lather. That's the soapy film that will cover all surfaces of your hands, in between your fingers, the backs of your hands, the top of your hands, everything. Rub them together for 20 seconds. They say a good measurement for 20 seconds, you can hum Happy Birthday. You can sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And once your 20 seconds are up, rinse your hands really well again. Being sure that you get all the soap off and you don't splash water onto your computer. Alright. Shut the water off. Shake off a little bit of the excess water and dry it on a clean towel. Alright. Back to the kitchen. Now that we have our hands nice and clean, the first thing that we are going to do is turn on our stove. We're going to cook on about a medium-high heat. I have my favorite wok. Had this for a lot of years. Never fails. And we're going to start with some extra virgin olive oil. We're going to start with about 2 tablespoons. And if we need to add more, we can always do that. So I have my measuring stick here. I'm going to measure out 2 tablespoons so that it's going to be even with the top lift of the measuring stick. There's 1. There's 2. Alright, now we're going to let that oil heat for just a second. It's not going to take too long since we're cooking with direct flame. You can coat all surfaces of the pan. You'll know your oil is hot enough when it starts to get a little shimmer on the top of it. Alright, our oil is hot. Now we're going to take our 2.5 cups of cubed up chicken breasts that I've had marinating for the last couple hours. And we're going to dump it into the pan with the hot oil. Alright. Set this off to the side. Now, anytime we're working with chicken, raw chicken, we need to worry about a few very important illnesses that can be caused if you're not careful. Salmonella is a big one. When you're cooking with chicken, you don't want to touch the food directly with your hands unless you absolutely have to. As you can see, I washed my hands. My hands are still clean. and then you scoop the chicken out of the bowl into the pan with my hands. You just dump it directly into there. You don't want to touch your eyes or your face while you're cooking. You don't want to hold the spatula up to your face like I just did, because you could fling food into your face. We're going to go ahead and let this cook for just a couple of seconds. Now, I was saying earlier, chicken breeds E. coli and salmonella, both very dangerous diseases that can get you very sick. Those diseases breed the best between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So just to be absolutely sure that we're killing any potential diseases that could be in the chicken, we are going to cook it to about 165 degrees. You can either use a measuring or a thermometer to check the internal temperature of the chicken, or if you are as familiar with cooking it as most people is, you can tell by looking at it when you cut it open. Now we're going to get a nice sizzle going with this chicken here. So in this lesson today we are going to be integrating science. We're going to be integrating a little bit of math using our measuring skills that we're going to be covering throughout this process. We are also going to be doing some journaling after we're done preparing the chicken. So we're going to integrate some writing skills. And when you guys do your own recipe, you guys are going to be reading off of the recipe cards that I'll give you. And that's also integrating another skill, which is reading. Alright, so we've got the chicken cooking. It is starting to get to a good color. You can see it's starting to turn white on the sides, white on the top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper to the mixture. We're going to go ahead and give this a good stir through. You can hear it sizzling as all the water is cooking out of the chicken and the fats. It's starting to smell really good in here. My whole kitchen is starting to smell like teriyaki. Now, just by looking at it, I can see that it's starting to get just a little bit dry. So I want to add about another half of a tablespoon of oil to this. Not a whole lot, because we are trying to keep it a little bit healthy. I'm going to add about another half a tablespoon of oil. That'll just jumpstart things a little bit more for us. Next, we're going to add just a little bit more teriyaki sauce to the mixture. About a quarter of a cup of teriyaki sauce. Give that a really nice, good mix. Let that all incorporate in there real nice. Cook the chicken completely. Alright, we're going to cover it for just a couple of seconds. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add our Asian Melody vegetable mixtures. We have baby corns, we have sweet peas, broccoli, carrots, there's some water chestnuts in there. Lots of good stuff. It's full of vitamins and nutrients. So we're going to dump the entire 12-ounce package in there. When I cook this for myself, I like to have a little bit more chicken than vegetables in there. Makes it a little nice little treat for me. Alright. So we got the chicken in there. We have the vegetables in there. We have plenty of teriyaki sauce. So we're going to go ahead and cover it again. We always want to clean up after ourselves as we cook. Saves a lot of the cleanup for later on. We'll go ahead and save our dishes for the end. cap back on the oil so I don't spill it everywhere. Now, that's just about done cooking. What I'm going to do is add about a tablespoon of La Choy soy sauce. This is going to add a little bit more flavor, and it's also going to add some saltiness to it. You got to be careful to balance your salt and your soy sauce just right, or it's going to be a little too salty and ruin the mixture. Now it's looking a little dry again, so we're going to add about another tablespoon of teriyaki sauce. Let that cook through real well. Alright, as you can see, you can start to see the fibers in the chicken starting to look loose. They're coming apart a little bit. The vegetables are all getting soft. Now we're going to just cook it down, get some of that moisture out before the final step. Now when we're done cooking the chicken, what we're going to do is we're going to let it cool, and then we're going to throw it into 3 of these storage containers, and these are going to be our lunch throughout the week. It's a great way to make fast food on the go for those of us that don't have a lot of time to cook our meals, and the drive-through window gets old pretty quick, so this is a good way to incorporate some nice healthy food into your diets. And another important thing, when you are storing food for the week, it's always a good idea to take your Sharpie and put the date that the food is prepared. So, I'm going to write the date right on the top there. Alright, our chicken is just about done. Today we covered the basics of preparing chicken teriyaki stir fry. We covered hand washing skills. We covered some basic measuring skills and some beginning cooking skills. Now, once this chicken is all cooked down, we'll be ready to enjoy. Thank you for being part of our lab today. Have fun. Cook your own food.